picked up this 2.5-gallon utility container. It's not supposed to have fuel in it because it's not approved by the folks at the EPA. But you can see semi-transparent, you can see through it, translucent I guess is the word. And I marked it for my two-stroke endeavors with the paramotor. Speaking of the paramotor, I was hanging from the dang hangar door, and all of a sudden I couldn't make maximum rated RPMs. I thought it would be a good idea to put it up underneath the door with me in it and run the motor a little bit, only to find out that after about 10 or 12 minutes of messing around with different throttle advancement and power settings, it would no longer make full power. So what happened? I thought, well, I burned up the initial spark plug because it was running too rich. Maybe there was a problem, a compression problem, maybe something to do with my throttle setting. Maybe my throttle wasn't fully opening. So I pulled the plug and checked that. That wasn't the problem. Come to find out, what had happened was this APCO harness is a universal harness. It has the hard point hook ends for swing arms, and then it also has these pre-engineered loops for a different type of a system. And the harness is secured to the frame using these, or I should say the frame is secured to the harness using these 1-inch or 7/8 inch nylon straps. And one of these straps had worked its way back and is just long enough that it found its way into the intake portion of the air silencer, and it was riding right like that. So it was acting like a NASCAR restrictor plate, cut down my airflow into the intake box by about 20%. So I got to do something. I don't like this arrangement at all, but I'm glad I found it hanging from the hangar door rather than hanging underneath the paraglider. So I have now run enough thermal cycles and enough gasoline through the motor to consider it preliminarily broken in for flight. Still going to run it some more, a little more shakedown running. And as you can tell from my kiting, I'm not quite ready to take off yet anyhow. It's not the kiting. Well, I take that back. It's not the in-flight portion of the flying that concerns me. It's the manipulation of that wing on and near the ground with me attached to it in this device. Looks like Skytour or S-Rider. S-Rider, it's in Boston there. I can't quite make out what it is. It came with a convex mirror mounted where that Trail Tech is now mounted to the throttle. So I like the position of the RPM gauge there better. I'll have to figure out if I need the convex mirror or maybe find another way to get it mounted to something where I can look around behind myself. And for all of you critics out there that were worried about me not clipping the ends of my ties, I've clipped all the ends of the ties for you, so that won't be a concern for you anymore. A friend of mine named Don came out and recorded some video of my
kiting and the particular problem that I'm having, which is switching from reverse kiting to forward kiting and forward launching in less than some wind, where almost every single attempt results in one side of the glider flying over the top of the other side of the glider and ending up in a twisted heap on the ground. But Don is out of town and he's visiting family, so I'm sure he's not thinking that getting those files to me anytime soon is a priority. Once he does, I'll take a look at them and post them on YouTube if I can't figure out what I'm doing incorrectly. My procedure's pretty much been to reverse kite using the brake lines, and when I spin around to assume the forward position and I reach up to grab the handles, by then the wing is usually collapsed or deep into the process of collapsing on itself. So it might be that I'm not maintaining enough forward momentum, but I'm going to keep working on it. Have a good weekend.